Man, the weather's so bad again. I'm just at the house in this word and studying and appreciating everybody for sending me the comments and the questions in my email. I had another good question from my man. What's my man name? Marcus Williams, man. Big shout out to you. You said I love the video you did on the tithe and offering. The last one, the latest one I just did. And if you don't mind, how is my church and my pastor and myself? Like I said in the video, I don't do the 10%. I give from my heart. And you say about my pastor now, major shout out to my pastor, Reverend Louis E. LAURENT. Major shout out to him. He been at the church now probably 7, 8 years. And I came in a couple of years after him. And I've been with my pastor now since I came back from Florida. I've been with my pastor now almost 6 years. And never once, I mean never once, have my pastor begged for money. Not once. Nor do he preach on it. At oftentimes, you know what he do? He pray. And that's it. He don't get caught up in money. Matter of fact, he don't even accept money from the church. He ain't even on no salary. And when they try to give him something, he give it right back to the church. Because he's a blessed man of God. A lot of people know Pastor Louis E. LAURENT, man. He used to have like one of the third largest real estate companies called LAURENT and Associates. And he's a dynamic man of God who I stand firm behind, man. One thing about me, I'm not gonna be in no church where I can't support. When if I can't be up under no weak leadership. So he got to be right for me to be up under him, and we hit it off, man. And another thing he don't do is tax you. He don't tax his musicians. He don't believe in none of that stuff, and he don't beg for money or nor accept a salary. And that's how he is, man. That is how he is, because he believe in the true word of God. He believe if he seek ye first the kingdom and the God's righteousness, then all other things will be added. That's how he is, man. He never once, I'm not being funny with this, he never once begged for money. Not that I can recall, man. Not once. It's some dynamic things I love about my pastor. First thing my pastor asked me when he hired me, he said, you ain't gay, are you? And I respected that. And I felt where he was coming from, and he wasn't judging. He said, I can't put anything in my corner. He said, I'd rather go without no music than to have that. He said, if I let that homosexuality get in my corner, it's going to destroy my whole church. God church, let me say that right. He said, it's going to destroy God's building in here. And he stand firmly on what he says. He asked me that, and he asked me, when can I start? Just like that. And he asked, he was concerned about me. How was my life? How well did I know God, or was I just trying to get in the church to rob the church for money? See, that meant a lot to me. That said something to me off top about how my pastor was, and I've been with him ever since. I've never really ran into a pastor like him. And we don't get into each other's, he trying to run the corner. No, we don't get into that. He said, I hired you to do that. You are hired to be the minister of music, and that's what you do. I don't get involved in any decision I make. He tried his best to stand on it, man. And see, that's how I am. Anything I do, I still tell him, because he is the head of the church. He is the head of the church. Now, we done had some ups and downs in our church, but what church haven't? But my pastor, man, he'll tell you to give cheerfully. He don't get up and read Malachi 3 and 8. And if somebody get in the pulpit and do read it, he gonna slap them. He'll tell folks, don't brainwash the congregation. He don't never do this, man. And I look, and not just him, it's a million pastors out here that do that. That's why I always say, man, shout out to the real pastors, man, that do this. Shout out to your pastor, P.P. Drawings. Shout out to Pastor Leonard, man. I love to hear people that email me and tell me, man, my pastor ain't like that. And that's why these churches are growing. And another thing, our church paid for. See, this is what people don't understand. When you line up with the word of God, build and paid for. Build and paid for. Pastor don't beg for money. Pastor don't preach on prosperity, trying to make you feel, oh man. And y'all wonder why I love going to my church? Through the ups and downs, man, I can faithfully say this, honestly say this. Our church is a beautiful church. I love the spirit in there. We don't have that hating on each other in the corner. See, one thing about our music style, we all brothers. I got 2 brothers. My oldest brother play the drums, and my little brother plays the bass. And my best friend from second grade is on the saxophone. And my big brother Jimmy is on the keys. We all know each other. And we will all check each other in the heartbeat. See, the thing about us as musicians, we get along. And when there is a problem, best believe we're going to address each other, because we do our church just like Paul say. Paul led us to the churches. And that's why we be successful. If I got a problem with any one of my brothers in the corner, I go right to them and try to get it right with them. I don't go around her gossiping saying my little brother said this, or my big brother said this, or James said this. Now, if I got a problem with James, I go to James. If I got a problem with my little brother, I go to my little brother. Because we are all men. And we should be able to take things and accept things like men, because one thing about me, I love tough criticism. You can criticize the hell out of me, and it ain't going to bother me. I love tough criticism because I stay on top of my game. I'm not no halfway musician. I don't go in the church half-stepping, the choir teaching me what to do. Nah. So I got a problem with musicians that do that, just go to church for the money. He ain't concerned about everything. I don't want God to hold me accountable. So I love my pastor, man. My pastor, he preaches the word, and he ain't no hooping and hollering preacher either. He teaches. He teaches. He opened up his mouth where you can hear what he's saying. He teaches. He don't have nothing against hooping and hollering, but he do get mad when he preaches. If somebody come in this church and they ain't saying but two words and nothing, start hollering, and you know ain't nobody got no word out of it, he'll tell you it'll be your last time preaching at this church. I love how he's staying boldly, man. He's a family man. He take care of his home. And our church, the name of our church is the Little Flock Missionary Baptist Church. We in Forney, Texas. Forney, Texas, 75126, I believe. If anybody ever in town, stop by. You want to get up and sing a solo? Sing your solo. You want to join in and worship with us? Come on, join in. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. I love the fellowship. I love the real saints, the real people, the real praisers, not the people that's showing out. We love the fellowship with other people, man. Bring it on if you ever in Dallas. Come to Forney, Texas. Little Flock Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Louis E. Laurent, 75126, I believe. Hey, love everybody, and that's a good question. It's a lot of pastors like that, man. I know a lot of pastors that don't even accept money from the church because God done blessed them. My pastor own his own real estate company, man. I applaud him all the time, man. And we know how real estate done fell down since the economy fell down. But through it all, ups and downs, my pastor still hanging tough. And he always concerned about others, like we all should be. He want to make sure everybody else get taken care of, because we're all in this thing for one reason: God. And God bless you.